1, 2, get down!
So we're here today with Rob McInerney, the founder of IntelligentX. So it's really great to be in this AI beer brewery, and we're going to talk about how to start your own business, how to get ideas, how to grow a startup, and how to use AI to create something innovative. So first question to you, Rob.
Sure.
How did it all started? Where did the idea come from?
So I did a PhD in machine learning. I spent a long time looking at how we should create machines that can learn from experience, go out and make decisions in the world. And originally started my company pretty naively, not really knowing much about business or the kind of problems that I could solve. But having this kind of belief that the stuff I'd worked on during my PhD was valuable and could be applied to certain problems. After fishing around in a bunch of different avenues, a friend of mine and I were sitting down, drinking beers in a WeWork, in a co-working space in London, and had this idea that we could apply algorithms to product innovation, and actually specifically within beer. We played around with these ideas for a little bit, and then ultimately came to what we now have, which is what IntelligentX is, which is a product that continually changes based on customer feedback. And that customer feedback, and then the decisions derived from that customer feedback, are all organised through AI.
Going back to the first day when you came up with the idea and decided to start this fantastic project, what happened next? Where did you find money to brew your first batch? How did you assemble the team? Tell us the story.
So we literally came down here out of our own pockets, paid to make I think we made 57 bottles, and it cost us £7.50 per bottle to produce. It was ridiculous. And we went to an event and gave them all away for free, which hurt a little bit. But it was a great opportunity just to kind of see the response. I mean, it was a minimal investment, but gained us a lot. As we went on, we started running some small scale events, producing really small batches, but really at that point it was just about further validating the idea. We were lucky enough to get accepted onto an accelerator program, Techstars, in New York, and so that gave us a certain amount of funding.
How much funding did it give you?
So the standard Techstars grant is you do a sort of 3 or 4 month program. They offer you a combined total of $120,000, and that's split between a convertible note and some cash equity. Outside Silicon Valley, we have more of a tendency towards growing businesses that are generating revenue up front, and I tend to favour that at the moment, at least as an approach. Whereas you go into the Valley, you look at these kind of moonshot businesses that really sacrifice revenue for growth. But there's different arguments for saying one is better than the other. But I like the attitude that we've taken, which is prove the business and trying to make some money off it as well.
What was the biggest disaster that happened to you throughout these years?
We got 4 strands of beer. So we have American Pale Ale, we have a Golden Ale, an Amber Ale, and an English Porter. And the first iteration of the English Porter was incredibly smoky. It tasted like a Lefroy whiskey to me, anyway. And I sort of drank, opened the bottle. We were just about 200 people coming to this event, and I was like, oh God, I don't like this at all. I don't know, we can't put this in front of people. And I gave it to the guy I started the company with, and he was like, I love it. And I was like, okay, fine, we'll put it out. And it was amazing. Whilst I thought it was going to be a nightmare, it was a real sort of Marmite beer. Some people absolutely loved it, and some people didn't like it.
What if they think wrong? What if the product becomes worse?
And Steve Jobs was always of the opinion that people don't know what they want until you show it to them. Having said that, I think that once you put stuff in front of people, you get a much better idea about what they really want. I mean, the true thing is you can have a good idea, but until you put it in front of people, you don't really know whether it's going to work or not. After one of our early iterations, the algorithms asked, would people like a stronger beer? Almost everyone said they'd like more alcohol in the recipe. So we went out and made a stronger beer. But what happened was that when we made that and gathered feedback, people liked it less. So we learned by going out, making a mistake, and then gathering feedback. We learned not to make that same mistake again. So now the algorithms may ask the same question, but they'll learn how to differentiate between how much more alcohol.
Knowing everything that you've been through, what advice would you give yourself?
I mean, the one thing that I've always done in this business is kind of kept at it. And, that's not always easy. When you're starting a company and you're really trying to do something new, it's frequent setbacks are the norm. And I think most weeks there'll be something where I'll sit there and go, this has not gone at all to plan. Or that and you really have to sit there and regroup and make new decisions. As long as you go into it with an attitude that that's completely fine, then there aren't any problems. You come to rather than viewing these things as setbacks, you just view them as the next step in your journey and another thing just to be resolved. And I think that being comfortable with the idea that you have a finite pool of resources at your disposal, and that they may be some combination of money, team, your own kind of mental faculties and ability to kind of stomach the emotion of it all. And it's okay to understand that some of those run out, and you just have to make decisions based on that and not blame the world or worry too much that that's the case, and just keep going basically.